Yo, now we get ready.
What's up?
What's going on? How you feeling there, Mr. Devonshire? How
I'm
everything?
good. How you?
I'm alright. I'm alright, man. I'm blessed, man. I can't complain, man. Well, I can, but ain't no use to complaining because it ain't nothing to complain about. So you know what I mean. So how everything going on with you, man?
It's been good. Just chilling, trying to get as much work in as I can during this time, this little quarantine.
I feel you. I feel you, man. You know, I most definitely feel you. Hey, people, I'm on, man. With Aliquippa stand out. You know, Kentucky stand out. MJ Devonshire, man. You know, hey, MJ, let me ask you something, man. Your senior year, you almost
Yeah.
broke the national record, man, for punt returns, man. How was
Oh
that?
yeah. It was. I mean, it was a goal. I didn't realize it till like the end of the season. I was just out there really trying to play. Then
Right,
my coach brought it to my attention that I could really break the record, and then we started really trying.
right,
But it was. I mean, it was
right, right, right,
record, and it was just it happened. So I
right.
came close.
Right, yeah, you most definitely came close, but you was like one or two away from breaking the record.
Yeah, I had a couple called back. I
Well, yeah,
thought
I knew, you had a few callbacks because I remember one time, man, when the first game y'all was playing down in man at Woodland Hills, what you had like one or two callback then.
yeah.
Um, it was crazy. It was like wow, but you know, I mean, hey, that was something special, man. Like I said, you know, you was a real big part of that, man. You know, state championship 2 years ago, at Aliquippa, man. You know, I mean, you did a little bit of everything. You know, I mean, especially, I mean, against Sharon, they even put you in the backfield, didn't they?
Yeah, the team needs. I started playing running back for a week. I had to do what the team needed to do.
Hey man, you know that's one thing, man. You know, I mean, you have to be a team player, man, when you playing the sport of football, basketball, any sport that.
Definitely do.
So let me ask you. So, how was your first year at the University of Kentucky?
It was great. I learned a lot. Really seeing firsthand like what it's like to be a D1 athlete, play against D1 athletes. That was the best part. But the learning experience was my biggest thing. Like in the speed of the game, learning how to really play. Like we're only playing defense. Like focusing on your craft and trying to perfect it. That was the best part about it.
Okay. Now let me ask you something. Now, how was your transition from high school to college?
Um, it was smooth. Being from Aliquippa, I always been a competitor. So just going in, my first thing was I was always taught to just compete. Don't worry about nothing else. Control what you can control. And once I figured that out, I went in. I had a good fall camp. I ended up breaking my wrist like the second game of the season, but other than that, it was a smooth transition, speed wise and strength wise. They gonna get you right. So in the summer, I got stronger and faster, and I just let my natural ability take take away from there during fall camp.
Okay, okay, that's understandable. Now, you played with the boy Lane. Lane got
Yeah,
drafted. How do you feel about that?
should have been. It took too long, to be honest, man. Lynn, that guy perfects his craft. I can't speak enough about how much he taught me, especially punt returns. Back when we was returning punts, he used to give me talks and just tell me stuff like how to be great. And his everyday mindset was about being great. And he wasn't gonna let nobody stop him from getting to his dream of going to the league. So him being drafted yesterday was like he knew it was just about how long it was gonna take.
Yeah, I seen Lane his senior year. I didn't see him football, but I seen him basketball play against Kennedy Catholic. He
Yeah,
was just you can just look at him and tell that he was a D1 athlete. I mean, I remember I got one play. He was at half court. He was holding a point guard. Man, he stripped him and he took just one two dribbles and just commenced to rising. I was like, whoa! And you can just tell by his body frame. People was like, oh, well, what college he going to? Is he playing basketball? I said, no. Look at his body. He's playing football. They like, how you know? Then afterwards, I talked to him. He said he was going to the University of Kentucky. I said, good for you, young man, coming from Warren, Ohio, which that's like Aliquippa, Erie.
right.
It's a lot of poverty there and everything else. So basically, I can just tell when I talked to him for that brief moment that he was on a different mindset, like you said. So now coming up this year, man, What do you see yourself? Your predictions. You seen yourself more on the field, starting what? I mean, I'm not trying to put you on the
Yeah.
spot, but I'm asking.
I see playtime in the future. Hopefully, coming in fall camp, we got a couple guys in front of me right now. I was running with the second team in the spring, so might not start early on. That's my goal, but it might not happen. But definitely just trying to work to get some playing time and prove that I can play with the best of them.
Well, like I said, coming from Aliquippa, I mean, you most definitely can play with the best of them. You got to look at your pedigree. You got to look at everything that you come from. Like I was telling somebody, Aliquippa is tied with a big school in California for the most first round draft picks in the NFL. I lived down there for 12 years, man. Like I told somebody, there's not a there. This the best. That's the best football, high school football, and I've been around football a long time that I've seen anywhere. It was so competitive, and y'all dominated. Y'all won 78 games straight, man, in the conference, man. I mean, doing how was that?
Just being a part of it was like it was crazy. We didn't really pay attention to it because every day we just took it one game at a time. So come Monday, we didn't think about what happened last week or what's going to happen next week. It was just focusing on that Friday, and it was just like a tradition. The team before us, they won every game in the regular season, so we just tried to keep that story going. It wasn't. I mean, it was just nature. It's like second nature, and I look at it to just keep winning and keeping up the tradition.
You say that right. Now let me ask you something. Being from Aliquippa, do you have any conversations with any of the greats like Ty Law, Darrell Reeves?
Yeah, I talk to Ty all the time. I got Ty's phone number. I mean, Darrell, because he was recently in the league. Him being in New York, it was kind of hard for him to talk to us. But I mean, he tries. He definitely comes back when he can. But I mean, Ty being older and he's more living his life now. I got his number. I can reach out, talk to him anytime. He calls me. They try to keep check on all of us that went to college and even some of us that don't, just to make sure we're doing fine and got a plan and a set goal for ourselves off the field just as much as.
Yeah, that's one of the most important things, I mean, is get that education. But I know you coming from Aliquippa, and I know that you're a competitor, like you said. I know your dream is to make it to the league. Do you see yourself being called like Lane was called yesterday? Do you see yourself being called?
Definitely. It's been a dream of mine. I set my dreams high. I'm always just trying to be like, I'm trying to be the first corner taken whenever I enter the draft. So that's my goal and that's what I work for.
You do get some great potential. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, when I seen you, I want to say you was a sophomore then. You was at y'all was playing against Beaver Falls. I want to say what you had, one or two interceptions, and you had the whole lot, that whole side locked down.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
I was like, whoa, who is this young boy? I was with my old head Larry. Rest in peace to him, Larry Boy. I mean Larry Bradley, Bubba Bradley dad. He was like, man, that's MJ. I'm like, damn. I mean, I'm like, you shut the whole side down. I was like, man, who this young boy can ball. Then he introduced me to your dad. Then I just got real cool with a lot of people on the coaching staff, man, at Aliquippa. And I'm gonna tell you one thing, they treated me very nice. I mean, I didn't have problems when every time y'all played at Hans, Shorty Red or Coach Z would give me, it's like, oh, he's coming in with us, so I didn't have a problem. That's one thing about it, I appreciate always coming to Aliquippa games, But I'm gonna tell you, my first time I came to Aliquippa, that's when Todd Thomas was playing for Beaver Falls, right? And
Uh-huh.
they had beat y'all in the pit. And I'm walking out, right? it was about 10 people, yo. They were like, "Where you from?" I said, "Man, I said, look, I'm from Erie, man. I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania. I just enjoy good football." They was like, "Oh no, he ain't from the Falls, y'all. He can go." Hey, I was like, whoa, I didn't know how big the rival was, man. I didn't know it was that serious. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going to go on here? But I mean, I can understand it. As I lived down there, I understood it how it was. Just like any place else, you always gonna have a rival team that you gonna be with. So Beaver Falls was y'all's. I mean, did you get up a little extra special when y'all played against Beaver Falls, or you just had the same mindset?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a different feeling playing them. You could feel it throughout the whole week, starting on Monday. everybody knew, especially with me. Monday coming when I come to school, they knew what week it was. I didn't wear orange. I took it serious, so it was like, I mean, it was a heated battle every time we stepped on the field. But there was definitely good battles in football, basketball, anything we did. It was definitely one of them games where it was like, yeah, I don't like y'all on the court or on the field.
Yeah, hey man, but it was something special, man. But like I said, after that game, I want to say they beat y'all again, and then when they had Cody Cook and Carter, they beat y'all regular season. Then y'all come back and y'all beat them in the playoffs. But after that, I don't think they beat y'all no more. Oh yes, they did. They beat y'all in Heinz Field. They beat y'all in Heinz. They beat you on Heinz Field. But what I didn't understand is, I'm gonna be real honest. I mean, I like the Coach Z, but what was wrong with him always running to the right hand side? He just continuously run the ball when y'all had so many athletes.
Honestly, I can honestly say his playbook. He had a tremendous playbook. Like the plays we practiced, I was they were second to none. It's hard to stop it if he would have ran it, but it was just like when he had to become comfortable running them plays, and he didn't want to get into a big situation and start doing something that he's not used to, and that be the reason we lost. He was a stickler about doing what he does best, and at the time, running the football was what we did best, and that had got us there. So we didn't want to just like jump and try to spread. I'm pretty sure if he would have stayed though, we were moving more towards spread because we practiced it so much. But in that year, those years we couldn't just jump the ship on what we had been doing for so
Right,
long.
right. Cause y'all most definitely, man. Y'all have two 4,000 yard rushers in y'all backfield with Drayvon and with Terry. It was crazy. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Drayvon was nice, but I loved it, Terry. I loved how Swanson ran that ball, man. I loved it. I loved how Swanson was. He was just. I don't know. And I was kind of disappointed when Pitt didn't offer him that, man, because was he a Division 1 athlete? Yeah, he was to me. I didn't understand it, but it was the powers that be. So now you got your work in and everything else. Now, what else is you doing now? Besides field work and going everything else, now you doing anything in the gym?
Yeah, I try to. Whenever me and my dad can, we try to go and get some lifting. That was before the little quarantine. Since then, I just do the basic, my push-ups, stretch band, little curl workouts and stuff like that. The basic stuff that you can do like at home, outside, stuff like that.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is, ain't you a 100 meter champion,
Yeah,
state champion?
yeah,
People don't understand. I try to tell these kids out here, man. They just want to focus on one sport, and I tell them, if you play a team sport, you get in a team concept with basketball, football. I tell them to run track because that's gonna show coaches your competitive side. I seen you run track too. It was like, whoa, I didn't know you can move like that. I'm gonna be real honest. You can move.
yeah.
So that's another thing that I admired about you. Like I said, I really didn't have a good chance. I talked to you a few times. I don't think you remember, but you was always humble. But I talked to your dad a lot. But and it was like I know I can tell just by the way that he talked, and the way that you talked that you had a very respectable. You was very respectable. You came up in a good household, so that's a lucky thing coming from where we come from the areas that we come from. We usually don't grow up with fathers. It seemed like your father is a big part of your life there. Tell me a little bit about that.
So when I was younger, my dad used to he used to summer every day. It was like we ain't doing nothing until you work out. So it was when I was younger, I used to play quarterback in little league, and he told me like with that responsibility, you got to work because you got to lead a team. And since then, he was just trying to instill in me that no matter what I do, I got to work to be good at it. I'm not just going to be one of them guys that just walk on the field and just do it because they're talented and because they're athletic. It's got to be technique and it's got to be stuff with it. So when I turn, ever since I was 5 years old, I was going on the field, doing workouts, push-ups, running 5 days a week, sometimes six, trying to be separate myself to be different. And once, like, I used to hate it. It'd be times when I didn't want to go and I'd be crying, and he'd be like, "You gonna get over it." And as I got older and I look back, I realized why he did it, and it makes sense now. I mean, back then it was like, man, why he doing this to me? But now that I'm older, it made me, it made me such a harder worker, and it made me like mentally know like what it takes to be good and put your mind to something.
Okay, that's what's up. That's most definitely what's up. Now, playing at Kentucky, y'all playing the SEC now. How is it playing in the SEC? I mean, because they say that's a step that's like the ACC in basketball is like next below NBA. That the SEC in football is tremendously. Tell me about playing, the competition there.
The worst team can win any other conference in the SEC for real. To be honest with you, it's no really bad teams. Like every game, you might see blowouts, and that's just because other teams game plan well. But athletically and talent wise, each player on every team can play anywhere, and it'd be like even when we play weak teams, you just be like, man, these guys are good. And week in and week out, you're gonna find somebody, whether it's one player or a whole 11, that's like really elite on the other side of the ball, and you gotta come out there and really play.
Yeah, because I mean they most definitely elite. Because look how many players from SEC that went so far in the first two rounds. I mean it was a record. I mean it was like wow. I mean I'm like another one, another one, another one. And like I tell kids, if you really want to try to go to the league and everything else, and you got an opportunity to go to a school that's SEC, go there because simple fact is they're gonna get you more pro ready than any other conference out here. I mean, but don't get me wrong. It's about your work ethic too. It's about studying. It's about getting in the film room. It's about everything. Now, you saying about being there. Now, can you tell some of these kids out here that's watching how hard it is going to be a Division I athlete? What it all takes.
Just mental and physical preparation. It's gonna be times when you're gonna have people out there like you don't need to work out today, and just self discipline is that's what separates the elite from the average. Self discipline and getting up on your own. When you can get up on your own and go work out and do what you got to do, that's when you'll know like you're either when you want to do it, and when you like take pride in like being good. Like I want to be the best. When you find your self motivation, that's what's gonna make you get you to the next level.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now Now you playing cornerback. Now, have they ever came at you and asked you to play safety or play a little bit of offense or kick return, punt return?
Yeah, I was returning punts last year in the fall, but I mean, offensive wise, we don't really talk. We talked before, like when I first got there, but not since the quarantine. We haven't really spoke, but we got a new receivers coach, so I don't really know. I know he's just trying to get to know his receivers and learn how he's going to use his guys so far. So maybe in the fall we'll see if we can work something out. As of right now, just corner
Okay.
returning.
Now that's your natural position, cornerback, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, let me ask you, what year was you started at Aliquippa? Was you a sophomore or junior?
Yeah.
You was a sophomore?
Sophomore.
Okay, okay then, and explain a little bit about Aliquippa with people for people who don't know nothing about that place right there. People say, well, Aliquippa this, Aliquippa that, where they really don't know. Like I tell people, man, Aliquippa's a different place, I mean, everybody's hungry. Explain a little bit about Aliquippa, where you from.
It's just we center around football. Like everybody, regardless of your differences, on Friday nights and Saturday mornings, the whole community comes together like no other. Like they respect football. We respect football too. It's like the highest thing around here. And so, like, like I said, Saturday morning. So, like, on Friday, everybody going to sleep right after the game. They get up, they go to work wearing their red and black. Then 7 o'clock, they're gonna be in the pit, watch the pit play. And then Saturday morning, starting at 10 o'clock, they watching the twerks, termites, every little kid that's gonna grow up and be a future Aliquippa player. Everybody gonna see them play. So Fridays and Saturdays is definitely dedicated to football.
And I didn't want to explain that to people because I didn't want people to say, "Well, you from Erie?" I said, "Well, I lived down there for 12 years," but that's exactly how I seen it. Like I said, no matter what went on Monday through Thursday, Friday night the pit was packed. Saturday morning, they was at every game, every game from the morning all the way to the evening. Everybody was there. That's one thing I like. One thing I like about, man, getting them bowls with them wingdings and fries. That was my joint right there. Them wingdings and fries, man. That's the first place I went to. I said, wait a minute, what they serving over there? My man said they got wingdings and fries. I said, no, they don't. Hey man, well, every time I went to the game, man, I said, man, look, man, I'm finna go over here before the game. I had to put my camera down because I know Mr. Larry Stokes. That's who got me started down there, man, Mr. Stokes. And, he introduced me to a lot of people down there, man. He took me to a lot of places, man. I love Mr. Stokes to death, man. He took me around. He was like, man, they got some wingdings and what's the names, that's the first person I talked to was Mr. Stokes, so, and he just took me everywhere. But yeah, the one, I used to love coming to the games in the pit. That's one thing I used to do, man. 'Cause like you said, everybody used to be there, man. They supported. Like you said, they red and black on. And that was just Friday and Saturdays, So, but my thing is this, I most definitely got to make it down to Kentucky and bless you with my camera, put you back on my camera 'cause I need more footage, man, So, I most definitely will be keeping in contact with you, man, I'll be hitting you up from time to time, finding out what's going on, man. I'm gonna come down there, man, when it's quarantine, I'm gonna bring my Vertimax down there, put you on this Vertimax, get you one of these huh?
I got you.
Yeah, I'm put you on one of these Vertimax workouts. You can ask for, hey, matter of fact, ask your boy Marquise. Marquise, I'm trying to think, what is Marquise' last name, man? He went to Edinburgh, then he went to, yeah, Marquise Moore. I broke him a few times. I broke a few kids down there. I broke your boy Darius Wise with a 45-pound weight bar before. Oh yeah, and I broke your boy Reigns too. I broke Reigns too. He came twice to my gym in Rochester. I got him with the 45-pound bar too, and I didn't see him since then. Yeah, ask him about it. I got him with a 45-pound bar. Nothing else. No weights on it, just the bar. He was like, man. I said, then I hit him up again. I said, man, you supposed to be at workout. Where you at? He didn't answer. Then he like, man, my fault. My stomach was hurt. Oh, I'm with my girl. I said, oh, here you go with all these excuses. I told him, you had nice size and everything else, but I don't think that you want it. That's exactly what I told him. And I'm going to be real. And I tell him in his face, and that's what I told him. I'd be real honest. One thing about me, I'm going to be very real. That's why they call me, that's why I got Real Talk with LSelb, because I'm going to speak the truth no matter what. But hey, MJ, man, it was nice, having you on Real Talk with LSelb, man. I got a t-shirt for you, man, or a hoodie. What size you wear? Okay, I got you. Oh yeah, and tell your dad I still got his too, man. And when I quarantine over with him, I'll be down that way, man. Like I said, I'm gonna keep in contact with you, man. Like I said, I want to come down to Kentucky, man, and get on that sideline and get some more film of you, man. So thank you. Hey, man, you stay safe, man, and healthy, man, and be safe. All right.